Hello, everyone. I'm running a couple of minutes late. I was just watching Trent Williams' press conference. He's very excited to be back on the 49ers, and he talked a lot about Alex Mack. Trent Williams is really smart. This is Jack Hammer, by the way. I'm Grant Cohn. Thanks for having us. Jack, I don't know how much you've listened to Trent Williams. He's really smart. He's also a very good athlete, but he was explaining, he said, pretty much any time Kyle Shanahan's offense has really, really worked, he's had a hell of a center who's kind of been the driving force of it all, which is a good point. And I think Trent Williams is right. I think he knows his history. So we're going to be looking at the Niners' newest center, Alex Mack. Tell us what we're going to be looking at today.
Well, what we're going to start off, we're going to look at some of his performance from 2016 in the Super Bowl, his last game with Kyle Shanahan. I thought that would be a good place to start. And one of the things that you really like about Mack is he understands the offense completely, and he's the quarterback of that offensive line. You can see him making the calls. And we'll go through some of his. We're going to kind of skip around a little bit more than we usually do, but we're going to go through about 15 plays from the game, and then we'll get into the fourth quarter and have a little bit of a different discussion for a little bit there.
Okay, very good. And so what we'd also like to do is, if we have some time at the end, hit a little bit of him in 2020 just to see what he has left in the tank, because this is about 4 years ago.
Yeah, and and that 2020, what we look at will be from week 1 when they played Seattle, since that's an opponent that he'll be facing coming up.
Perfect. Okay, so where are we starting in the Super Bowl?
Let's just start off 13:37 of the first quarter.
Okay, let's see if we can do that. Boom, here we go. Okay. How's that look? Okay.
Yeah, there we go. And they're going to be starting off here with a run. And what I like about this one is his how quick he is with getting to the second level. So he's right in the middle there. And he does a really nice job of kind of slowing down the man that's lined up on top of him and getting up to that linebacker.
Ooh, that is nice.
That's a really nice play. You can see how that opens up that lane for the running back once he cuts upfield.
Right, because if this block wasn't made, well, Julio Jones is there as well. But if still, there would be someone making this tackle right there.
Yes. Yep. They'd be able to get over there and fill the hole, and they're not able to.
Right. So this is a tough block. It's a really well-executed block to get up to the second level. I see that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of stuff that Kyle looks for. Run blocking really ahead of pass protection.
Yeah, and Mack's extremely athletic. All these guys are in the middle of the Falcons' offensive line, and you can really see it here, just the explosion to get up the field.
That's a good play. Yeah. Okay, what's the next one?
Another real quick note, real quick here, and this is more of a personal one. This was actually one of the craziest Super Bowls that I watched, because the guy right there, number 67, the left guard, I actually coached against him when he was at San Lorenzo Valley High School in Felton.
Wow.
Yeah, so I forgot all about it until we were watching the game, and I was like, hey, I coached against that guy.
I didn't realize he was going to be in the Super Bowl when I was game planning against him. Interesting.
Yeah, but
that's cool.
Anyway, yeah, so
okay,
let's jump on to 12:55.
Okay.
So a lot of run blocking here, and
of course,
a little pass pro too.
Sure. All right, next play, basically. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, so this is going to be a zone, and it's going to be going to the left again. And what I like about here is the fact that man's offset, so he's got to be able to reach over to him. And
that's really hard. Yeah, this is actually subtle, but it's actually really hard. Kyle talked about it. He calls it the ability to reach a shaded nose.
Yep. And he's got to be able to try to get his head across that guy's face.
It's really hard.
And it is, especially because that guy is going to be stepping up outside when he sees the movement. But as you watch here, he's able to pull that off. You see everything's going.
It's amazing.
Boom. Gets his head across.
Yep.
And then he just keeps running down the line of scrimmage. The guy's going to eventually I think he's going to get in on the tackle because of that little block right there.
Yeah.
Allows him to bubble. Forces him to bubble. But that's a really good job by the center right there.
It is. I mean, just by alignment, if I were to tell you beforehand, like, there's no way he should be able to do this. All he kind of has to do is come forward. It takes a lot of quickness and timing to do this.
Yep, and he's doing it with no help from the guard. He's having to make that reach all on his own.
Yeah, so that's textbook, and it's rare. This is the kind of thing that Kyle looks for. If you can do this, that he wants you as his center.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
And like I said, the only reason that his man gets involved is because right there, that tight end gets knocked down, forcing him to bubble out. Otherwise, he's getting up the field right there and probably 5 yards.
Correct. All right. Okay. Well, that's really good technique right there. Good athleticism. What's next?
Really good. 11:32. This should be
Okay.
3rd and 5.
Here we go. Okay.
So this will be a pass pro here.
Good. Here
And
it is.
in this game, he has a man lined up over him pretty much throughout.
Interesting.
And it's a really big guy. I'm not sure. Don't remember who that is for New England.
It's not Vince Wilfork, but it's the heir apparent.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So he's got
a
big guy over the top of him, and he gets some help right here from the guard. They kind of double him.
Then he has to come off. Yep.
Yeah, and they're able to slide and get the protection. The protection breaks down from the tackles. That seems to be an issue. I was watching this game. I was like, God, this looks a lot like the 49ers.
Yeah.
Very similar with the right tackle getting driven back into the quarterback.
Good point.
And
this, I forget who this guy was, but I guess Kyle's saying if I can make it to the Super Bowl with this freaking guy, Wes Schweitzer, I don't even know. But yeah, that's Mike McGlinchey. Look at that. 1, 2.
Very similar.
And then that's not Trent Williams. But yeah.
And they get the sack. Ryan kind of misses somebody over the middle. But that's really good technique by, again, we're supposed to be paying attention to the center. But
and he's got the interior working in sync.
Yeah. And they're solid up the middle. And if they can be solid up the middle, that's great if you have a quarterback that will step up into the pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I'm not sure the Niners do, but that's the story for another day. Okay.
Yes.
All right, what's the next one?
Let's jump to 5:08.
Okay.
We're still in the first quarter.
Okay, here we go. Tevin Coleman run back when he was good.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe this is going to be a run to the right.
Yeah, I think so. Tevin Coleman.
Yeah. And
once again.
What I liked here was his ability to get up again. He's going to turn the nose. His job is really to try to, as you watch this, he's getting and he's turning and he's getting his eyes on that linebacker. So he's looking for the linebacker the whole way. The linebacker doesn't come, so he just stays with his block.
That's great. That's really well executed. I see.
Yeah. And look at
so he can do all these different blocks like perfectly.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
He's shown the ability.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just watching a few clips of him execute run plays, it's like, yeah, wow. This that's terrific.
Yeah, because you can see him like there. He's holding that gap for Levitri to get there, and then he's looking upfield for that linebacker. And the linebacker gets caught by the motion going the other way. And that's why he sets his feet. And that's really what opens the lane. You got
right. Like if the linebacker had done his job or not, had just like followed the ball correctly, Mack would have been in position to make 2 blocks in this play.
Correct. He would have been up to the next couple yard line up and
that's good.
Caught him off.
Yeah, I can see why Kyle Shanahan likes him so much. I mean, look how good he did in his offense just 4 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, you can see it. Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's jump to I think it might be the next play, 4:25.
Okay. Yep, indeed it is. Okay. It feels like this game was such a long time ago, doesn't it? I don't know.
It really was in a lot of ways.
It really was. Yeah.
So much has changed. So again, he's got the guy right over the top of him again. So, that's a lot of, like I said before, that's a big boy coming after him.
That's right. And these are the situations where Weston Richburg, I felt, would struggle. Just a big guy in front of him. Weston was small.
Yeah. With getting driven back, you mean?
Yes, and certainly. Yes.
Not able to really anchor well. And that's what you see with Mack. He's just really solid in his pass pro.
Yeah.
He moves his feet well. This time he kind of gets beat to the outside, but he's able to drive. It's not
he recovers.
Yeah, it's not a great block, but it's not bad. This one, the pressure's coming off the edge.
Yeah, and you don't see the nose tackle like disrespecting him by just bull rushing him back. He tries to pick half of them, go around an edge. If that was Weston Richburg, a lot of times they just go right into his chest. Remember, I think it was the Raider game, like 2018. There was a really embarrassing rep for Weston Richburg on Thursday Night Football. Am I remembering that correctly? Maybe not.
I'm not.
I am. But anyway, yeah, that was Weston. This guy is supposed to be much, bigger, stronger.
Yeah, and even on this one, he's kind of beat a little bit to the outside. But let's say that this was a play where he's got to read longer. There's a pocket to step up into right there because he's kind of driving him around. If you watch
certainly
watch the pocket, it's collapsing around him. But he has the ability. If he needs to step up and make a throw.
Yeah, he just hangs back. Yeah, that's a good rep. Okay.
So Let's go to where was I? 227.
Okay.
That's 3rd and 3, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and again, this was it's another pass rep, but again, it's just really solid in pass protection for the most part. This time the guy.
Ooh, there it is. Yeah.
And you see him just really be able to anchor that guy.
That's good. That's really good. That's fantastic. Man, this guy was really one of their best players in 2016. There's no question. You can see it right away. Yeah. The best offensive lineman on the team. Hell of a player. We're going to have to see what he has left in the tank, but it's interesting to see him do that pass protection. He can do both. Wow.
Yeah. And what I like is, he's all that protection, all that pass rush is going right around him, and Ryan steps up into the pocket. That's what you would look for from the quarterback, is to be able to step up and through. So that's really good. Yeah.
And a guy you think of as a statue actually stepping up, scrambling, sliding, gaining yards. What a concept. Nice play. Yeah. What a freaking concept. All right. Next
really
one.
Nice. Okay. So let's jump to the second quarter now. 13-29.
Boom. Here we go.
So it's another pass. This is going to be a deep out. So it's going to be one that's going to, you think that it's going to take time, because this is about a 20-yard out route that they're going to run here.
Okay. Straight drop back too. No play action.
Yep. And he's doing a good job. He's double teaming here, so he's not on his own, but he's helping the guard get set, and then he's looking for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that ball comes
heads
out.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah. What's really impressive
looking for work.
Yeah, it's good for him. What's really impressive on this one is, if you've watched it from the all-22, how quickly when this ball comes out of Ryan's hand, it's so early in the.
I see.
But and so that helps out too, right? That helps your offense make your offensive line look better if you're getting the ball out quick, because he's starting to throw the ball now.
Oh man!
And that guy's still got another 2 yards downfield before he breaks out.
Wow. Yeah, what a throw! My goodness.
So that's a situation where you've got to have a quarterback that can get rid of the ball early. That's one of the problems that the 49ers kind of struggle with. I don't think he's going to make that throw.
Yeah, if you have a wide receiver like Julio Jones, trust him.
Yeah.
Trust him. Give him some opportunities. And I think it's the same thing that was happening at Alabama. But we don't even talk about that. But anyway, I'm with you.
You're 100%. That's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you've got Brandon Ayuk who can make that.
Can do things like this. Yes.
Can do that. And we've seen him be able to get those routes. But, going back to Alex Mack, that's a really good rep for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice reset in the pocket. Hell of a throw by Matt Ryan, who is somehow underrated. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he's properly rated, but I think he's good.
I think he was
freaking good.
I think he's always been underrated. I think he's not the guy that he was used to be, but he's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what's the next one?
Let's go to the next play. It's
got it. 13-11. Got it.
Yeah. And the reason I chose this one is I think this is a zone, but just the power that he uses on the nose tackle here, because it's going to be a zone, I think, out to their right, our left.
Head up, gets his head outside, turn.
Yeah, and
runs with him.
He's running him, and he's able to just finally. He knows he's not going to get there, so he just turns and just.
That's perfect.
Uses power to get it out of the way.
Because basically, the way they teach it is, what you try to do at first is to get around him and turn him, turn him perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. Failing that, because that's hard. That's sometimes really hard to do. You can do that on scrubs. Failing that, push him.
Yep.
Push him out of there, and he does it. He really executes well.
Yeah, use that guy's leverage to his movement to be able to move him. And that's really good. That's where the running back having good vision plays right off of that.
And this is why I could tell, when Tevin Coleman came to the Niners in 2019, I never understood why he was so eager to cut back so quickly, because the best blocker on the team is George Kittle, and you want to get outside. But looking at what he was doing in Atlanta, you definitely want to. The best blocker on this team is the center. So a quick cutback behind him is a good move. Look at this. Boom. That's what Tevin Coleman was constantly trying to do on the Niners. Weston's not that guy.
Yeah, there's not that same kind of drive up the middle.
No, you need to get outside and use Kittle. But it's very interesting. It's a great block. And if he can still do this for the Niners, it'll well, Coleman's gone, but it'll help Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah, it definitely will. Or even Mostert, because Mostert can make that play, because you're not looking at really, that's not like a power kind of a run. That's where you're running to a hole.
Agree.
So a little bit different, but
yeah.
All right.
So that was 13-11.
Yep. Let's go to at 12:46.
Cool. That's the next one.
Yeah, it's another
Run. Yeah.
It looks like another zone,
Yep.
and it's kind of the same thing, kind of a little bit of a power, just the power of him being able to make this because he's doing the same thing here. You see him cut him off. He's got him cut this time, so you'll see the back
slide. Really good. I mean, this is even better. He really, really walls him off.
Yeah, he's got
turns him. Look at him. He's perpendicular. Got him engaged. Can't disengage.
Yeah, he's got his hands tied up.
Jeez.
So
he left this game early, didn't he?
Who's that?
Alex Mack.
No, he didn't. We'll see him in the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was Coleman who left the game early, actually. Coleman got splattered. Okay. Next game. Next play.
No problem. Let's jump over to the second half now. Let's go to the third quarter at 14:54.
Okay. I
think it's the first play of the second half.
Almost there. Boom. Here we go. Oh, I remember this play well. This is when the whole Super Bowl changed. All right.
Well, not on this one, but I think we're
14:54.
This is the third quarter, though. So they're running on this one. It was more of this is a run where he's the reason I picked this one out is it's a run. He's got the zone. He's got this guy 2 yards down the field before he gets caught up in the wash by the other guys not being able to move. But again, it's his power, his ability to move guys that I like.
Absolutely, yeah.
Some. And yeah,
his block is good. It's just everything else. Well, he gets tripped up a little bit, but he moves his guy back.
Yeah, he's doing his job. 70's getting stood up. So 70's not getting any push, so he trips over the man that he's blocking.
And they're now trying to kick out this guy because New England made the halftime adjustment to set the edge. They're going wide here. They got the bear front. This is what gave the Niners trouble against Miami week, whatever that was, and lost 3. And then they never could run the ball in the second half. But that's another story. Okay,
I see what you're pointing out about
this was just a momentum shifter, in my opinion.
Yes, as far as the game changing. Totally.
Yes, absolutely. But it's interesting to see Mack do his job on this play. It was more this guy whiffed, this guy got stood up. Those two guys at the point of attack. Yep, interesting.
Yeah, because I think it was 28-3 at halftime, correct?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes, and you come out, you want to run the ball, and all of a sudden -3.
Yeah.
So and they never really figured it out on the ground after this. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's jump over to the fourth quarter now, kind of like what you just were talking about.
Yes.
Let's kind of shift gears a little bit away from Mack. Mack's going to be a part of this as well.
Yeah, we're going to come back to Mack, but we want to finish this game up because it applies to Kyle. So what are we looking in here?
Yeah, so let's jump to 8:31 of the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Just because you're watching Alex Mack, and then you're like, wait, we just have to talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
This is something we've all.
Oh. Jack, did I lose you? Oh, man, the 49ers shut down Jack's internet service just right when it was Kyle. We were about to do the Super Bowl, and where Kyle messed up, boom, that's what happens. I'm going to wait for Jack on this one because Jack's got to take us through this. Oh, man, hold on. Come back. I'll give a little summary of what we've seen so far from Alex Mack. He was great in 2016. Wow. I never watched Falcons film like that, but he was definitely one of their best players on the offense in 2016. Now, that was 4.5 years ago. This game in particular was 4 years ago. His grades the last few years have been getting worse and worse progressively. So we're going to have to see what he's got left in the tank, but it's interesting to see what Kyle Shanahan's offense can be, what his run game can do with a prime Alex Mack in the lineup. It can be really, really good. It can make a guy like Devontae Freeman or a guy like Tevin Coleman look great. Flacco to Philly. Oh, man, this is such good news. Okay, here's what I interpret happening. The 49ers were interested in Flacco. They might have maybe thought about offering him a 2-year deal. All of us said, don't you dare sign Joe Flacco. The 49ers base their decisions on what we want. They're constantly looking at our Twitters, deciding what to do. And they're like, uh-oh, They don't want him, so they decreased their offer probably to like vet him in. And then Joe Flacco was like, man, I'm from the East Coast. I don't know anyone on the West Coast. I'm not particularly impressed with Santa Clara so far. I hear it's really expensive to live out here. Why don't I just go home and take a similar offer from a worse team like the Eagles? Isn't he from New Jersey or something like that? So that seems to make sense. Geez, the Niners really missed out. So who's the Niners' backup quarterback going to be? Josh Johnson? Josh Rosen? Someone named Josh. I like that. As long as it's someone named Josh. He's back. Flacco to Philly.
Oh, bummer.
He's all right. Oh, well, okay, here we go. Let's get back into it.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. So we're looking at now, hold on. This is the fateful play where things started going really bad. It is 28-12. Yes.
Yeah, so kind of setting this up, like I was saying, we talk a lot about this with how it always comes down to everybody saying, oh, it's all about execution. But at this point in the game, it's 28-12. New England has had the last 2 times New England's had the ball, they've scored. So they're the Atlanta defense starting to struggle here a little bit. And it's 3rd and 1. And you're back, you're on your own 35. And this is the play call that Shanahan comes out with. And I understand that his defense of this was that it's wide open if it's blocked up correctly. And he's right. 100% he's correct. If this is blocked up correctly by Freeman, they've got a big play. Because as this one rolls through, you're going to see that he's open.
Well, why are you looking for a big play on 3rd and 1?
And that's really more of my point.
Up 16.
Correct. Yeah. You're up 16 points in the Super Bowl. You've only got, by the time this ball snapped, there's only about 8.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Also, look at the formation. It's clear it's not going to be a run. The running back is in front of the quarterback. I mean, this looks like 3rd and 11.
Correct. There's that part of it too. But for me, it's more just it's 3rd and 1. Just run the ball. Even if you don't get it, then you're able to punt and you're going to be forcing New England to go a long ways. Instead, you have a breakdown in protection. Yes, you're going to have the guy wide open, but it doesn't work out because you've broken down. And
this year.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's where the ball was supposed to go. So, when Shanahan says it was open, he's correct. But the thing is, the play call to begin with at 3rd and 1, run the ball. If you don't get it, you want to stick New England where they've got to go down the field. Instead, you have the fumble here, and now the ball, it's New England ball inside the 25-yard line. So it's a total game changer right here.
Oh, no doubt. And then look at it from this perspective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He calls a 7-step drop from the gun on 3rd and 1, up 16 in the 4th quarter. This, if you don't run the ball here, which you should run the ball here. If you don't run the ball, it should be a quick throw, 3-step drop. You should not be dropping deep, holding the ball long so you can fumble or get sacked. And they did this multiple times in the second half of the Super Bowl. Multiple times.
Yeah, and it's just the worst case scenario is what happens. But I understand people. This sounds like hindsight, but in the situation, you've got to know. And the problem is this isn't something that just happened in 2016. We've seen this repeat itself since Shanahan became a head coach.
Also, this is a rough assignment. Devontae Freeman on Dante Hightower.
Yeah, he just.
That's the roughest. Yeah, good luck.
I don't even think he touches him. He's looking somewhere else and then catches him. Tries to catch him late.
Even if he is looking at him, he's giving up like 60 pounds to him. Like, good luck, man.
Yeah. So, going back to Alex Mack, since that's what we talked about, you see he does a good job in the middle there too. But we can see that part of the play.
It's just interesting to rehash this play and look at what, how Kyle repeats history. This was the first one. But wow. Well, it's just totally like not in tune with the situation in the game.
And that's the biggest thing. It's just the situational awareness that just seems to be lost at times. I understand he's extremely aggressive and whatnot. That's fine, but there's times to be that extremely aggressive, and there's times when you just got to play smart.
Yeah, get the first down here. Keep the clock running. Win the game. You're up 16. Oh, it's interesting. Did you have any other plays from this game you want to look at?
Yeah, I got 3 more. Let's jump to 440 of the 4th.
Okay. This is younger Kyle. It's interesting, but has he changed much? We'll see. You said 440?
Yeah. You asked that question. Has he changed much? If you watch the Super Bowl that they for his last Super Bowl, you see a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Kind of taking place. So this is first down. first and 10, and they're going to run the ball here. This is right after they made a big play to Julio Jones to get down. They're in field goal range. If you remember in 2016, Atlanta had Matt Bryant, who was one of the best kickers in the NFL that season. So they're in position right now to go up 11 points in this game and really put it away because there's only 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So they do it's a good opener. You run the toss sweep here. You're expecting to get it. New England does a great job of coming up and making the tackle and stopping him short.
Nice block by Mack too to get around 90, hold him up, take him out of the play. Otherwise, he would have been right there too.
Yeah, it's a really good job by the interior. They just don't get upfield, and they're outnumbered in the secondary, and New England does a good job of coming up and.
Okay.
So this is where the game, in my opinion,
is lost.
Is the next play call. So that's fine. But let's go to 356.
Okay.
You've only lost 1 yard at this point, and you're still in field goal position. You got the ball, and I think it's the 23-yard line now.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 11 to 23. You're up 8, 4:23 left. Yeah, should win this game. Yeah,
with the clock winding as well, because you just ran it.
Right, exactly. You're in position. Like you could just kick the ball right now and almost. But okay, yeah.
Yep. And instead they come out and they go pass out of shotgun. It's kind of you can see them possibly run the ball to this situation because there's a play early in the game where they run a play fake out of
this formation.
Yeah, a formation similar to this where they've got the backs in that same alignment.
Yeah.
But to go pass here out of shotgun and it's not even a short pass. You're looking to throw this ball deep.
Yeah.
This is actually Alex Mack giving up the sack.
Interesting.
So on this one, you'll notice that Ryan's reading right the whole way. So Mack's getting beat.
Yeah.
Guy's kind of sliding off him. He starts to try to run him up the field.
And Ryan runs into it.
Yeah, Ryan kind of runs into it because he's been looking right the whole way. So once he senses pressure, that's where he goes instead of stepping up.
Yeah.
If he steps up right there, he's got plenty of time to either look downfield or escape out to his left, which is where he should go. But his focus was so much on the right side. So that's like a half field read right there where he's looking middle. He barely at the side at the very end, but he's pretty much sold to the
right. Matt could have recovered there if Ryan had just stepped the other direction, but he's not looking that way.
Yeah. So, again.
But again, this is a perfect situation to run the ball. 2nd and 11, trying to kill clock. You can run. You don't want to take a sack and push yourself back out of field goal range.
Absolutely. Just run the ball. Even if you lose 2 or 3 yards on the running play, big deal. I mean, you're still only at the 25-yard line. It's still an easy field goal for Bryant.
Yeah, and you just took 40 seconds off the clock, which is good.
Yeah. So they run this one. They get the sack. Unfortunately, Matt gets beat here.
But I feel like a big reason they weren't running the ball, this was 4 years ago, was Kyle didn't really have an answer for this front in the second half of the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And it's sort of the way that McVay didn't have an answer for the 6-man front in his Super Bowl. He just didn't adjust. And so he went to his passing game.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that whole conversation before that Super Bowl where you were talking about that. And and that's really what you see here. But it's still, I mean, I don't care if you're not moving the ball. You just made a big pass play downfield.
Agree.
You're in field goal position where a field goal at that point puts you up 11.
Take a knee.
So
honestly,
we can at this point, they drop themselves back. I think they're around 35. They come out the next play, they get a holding. Now they're all the way at the 45, and the whole thing kind of blows up. They end up, finally punting the ball away, but they've wasted so much time, field position. And so instead of being up 11, you're up 8. We know how the game ends, but that's one of the things where this conversation comes up a lot among 49er folks when it comes to Kyle Shanahan, and the blame is always on execution, but you got to be smart as a head coach at times.
Yeah, there was really no regard, no consideration for the situation in the game, like over and over and over again in the second half. It's kind of Kyle Shanahan has a lot of stuff that in his legacy, but those 2 losses in the Super Bowl are right at the top, and that's what's going to be rough for him. Eventually, he can change that, but that's what he's known for. That's what he's accomplished, more than anything.
He's just uber aggressive, and sometimes he just needs to temper that a little bit. And folks have talked about, wouldn't it be great to have Shanahan and Harbaugh together, to kind of mesh those 2 together. And that's where I always say, no way. I think they probably kill each other by about halfway through the season.
Yes.
And I just saw a thing the other day on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, Grant, where it was back during his time as the offensive coordinator in Cleveland. And the Cleveland head coach tells him, let's run the ball here. And he basically looks like he's about ready to quit right there on the job.
He gives like the 17-year-old, like, do I have to take out do I have to do the dishes? Yes.
Yep. And instead he calls a pass anyway. And it works, but it's just one of those that just shows the dynamic and why he's better off where he is.
Yeah, when I watched that clip, I was like, okay, that's 2 years before you lost the Super Bowl. And that's why you lost it right there. That's why.
Yeah.
You want to pass the ball. You're a wide receiver at heart. That's the way I think of him. He's a wide receiver. He wants to spread the love.
Yeah.
Should we watch a little more Alex Mack?
Absolutely. We've got plenty of time. Hopefully my internet doesn't kick out on me.
All right, let me find it. So we're going to go 2020 week 1.
That's correct.
All right, let me find it real quick. 2020 week 1, and we're talking the Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Boom.
Yep.
All right. So, okay. Which play?
Let's jump to 14-26 first quarter.
Boom. Okay, here we go. So we've seen Alex Mack, how he fits in the offense. Now we got to see what he's got left.
Yeah.
In the tank.
And we're not going to go through a lot of plays here. I think we can get a pretty good feel for him relatively quick where he is.
Okay.
So this is a running play here, similar to what we saw with Shanahan. It's a little bit different scheme, but you still see that ability to get his head across and
push the guy. Yep.
Yeah, that looks just like the Super Bowl, right? Where he's
driving. Looks great. Looks great. Yeah.
So
that's great. Yeah, that's a big boy right there too.
Yeah. Yep. Another one.
Is that Puna Ford? I think it is.
Yeah, it might be.
I could be wrong. That's a big dude. Yeah.
I don't know. I hardly know any of the names. But
anyway, that's a nice block.
Yes, it's very good.
Yep.
And you get a straight run. That's Todd Gurley too, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yes.
They might come to the 49ers. They say.
Oh, that's exciting.
13-50.
All right, here we go. Guy looks good so far. Let's see what he's got next.
Yeah. So another run.
Okay.
On this one, he doesn't get a whole lot of push, and he gets some help, but that's a really good job. He kind of starts to slide off. That's a really good job by the nose tackle to stand him up and be able to disengage and really force this play to the outside.
Yeah, if that's Puna Ford, and I think it is, that guy's a hell of a player.
Yeah, and he beats him here, and and their inability to move him is what blows this play up.
Yep, absolutely. That guy's a big dude in the middle right there. 3 different guys try to get a shot on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he may not be as strong as he used to be, or this guy he's going up against is really freaking strong.
Yeah, I think there's might be a little bit of combination of both.
He might be a little bit better than whoever 97 was for New England in that Super. I don't even know who that was. All right, what's the next one?
Let's go to 13:05.
Boom, 2 plays later. Got it.
Yeah, we're going to pretty much just stay in the first quarter with this one.
Very good. Works for me. Okay.
So pass pro on this time he's uncovered, so he's going to have to look for somebody to help.
Mm-hmm.
And here he's just stepping over. He's engaging with the
the
guy was over the guard. Yep, and then you got Irvin kind of coming around. So they're moving off. It's good job.
That's good. Absolutely.
Good protection in the middle.
You know, when the Niners played Seattle, Bruce Wagner. What is his name? Bobby Wagner, not Billy Wagner. That was a closer. Bobby Wagner just blitzed Hronis Grasu mercilessly. It had like 6 quarterback hits or something ridiculous. I forget what it was, but yeah, I guess that was a mark of disrespect to Hronis Grasu. They won't attack Alex Mack the same way.
No, not at all. They won't do that. Was that in the second game?
I think it was the second game. Yes. No. It was the first one. It was up in Seattle. Yeah.
Correct.
He was he got benched. I don't think he ever played again.
Yeah, that was a really rough performance by everybody.
Yeah, it was.
Let's go to 12:36.
Boom, next play. Okay.
Mav said that 97 is Puna Ford.
Yeah, the guy's good. Thank you, Mav. Dude is good. Big. He's a little bit like Vita Vea, but I mean not as good, but that kind of a player.
Yeah, so you got a good
low to the ground, super strong. That's a nice little clash of the Titans right there.
Yeah, you know, he's not moving them; they're standing up, but
Yeah.
it's not a bad block either. I mean, the fact that he's not giving up ground, the fact that he's not driving them back, that's a fine block.
Yeah, because I don't think Weston Wishburn, I can't say that dude's name, but I don't have to anymore. I don't think the Niners' former starting center could have held up, was this strong, this big. Good to see.
Yeah,
Looks
no,
bigger than
Mac,
Ford.
I think Mac's better than whoever the Fourniers put in there this last season.
Yeah, better than Brunskill, better than Garland, better than Richburg. This is a definite upgrade from what I've seen so far, unless you're going to show me a play where he looks old.
Yeah, there's not too much of that.
Yeah. I wonder what PFS was looking at, or if he got worse as the season went on or something, because he looks fresh and good here.
Well, there was a couple of them. That's if you want to see one let's jump to 328. We can jump
Okay.
Let's go to 328.
Okay. Because when he was asked about his PFF grades at his press conference the other day, he was like, he wasn't defensive. He was like, I thought I played well. I'm proud of what I did. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. The PFF grades are they're okay.
They're okay. They're grades.
They're a number.
They're a number. They are grades. Okay.
And on this one, this is an example where he's going to miss the block here. So he's got to get upfield to cut off Wagner.
Interesting.
And he tries to cut him and misses. And Wagner ends up making the tackle.
Now Wagner is a great player, but maybe 5 years ago, Alex Mack would have had the juice to make this, to get out there and get Wagner.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that
this might be an example of it right here, because it has to show itself some way. I mean, he's 35.
Yeah, it shows itself a couple of times in this game. There was one earlier too, where in this one where he's trying to get upfield and you see him kind of not being able to get up as much.
So he may not be the second level blocker he was 5 years ago, but he's clearly still solid and strong in the middle.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be. I think he's going to do well when guys are head up on him. I think he's going to be able to move in the box really well. It's let's wait and see. You got to remember, like you just said, Wagner's a heck of a linebacker too.
Yeah, he would evade that block from a lot of people.
Yeah, that plays a little bit of it too. So
any more?
I think we can probably stop there. I mean,
that's cool. That's cool.
I think it gives people a pretty good idea of it. Alex Mack's a guy that I really like, the fact that that they brought him in. I don't understand it. He's old. They didn't give him a long-term contract, but I think he's really going to be able to solidify the offensive line. I think that was the one piece that's missing. And everybody around him, I think, is going to be better because of the fact that they have a leader in the middle.
No question. He's definitely better than Richburg from what I've seen already. He's better than anything they had last year. I don't know that he's necessarily better than like Rodney Hudson. He's not. Rodney Hudson is younger and would have been a big-time addition. He would have been expensive. The Niners can't afford him. They created cap space, but they didn't get Hudson. They got Mack, and he's definitely an upgrade. He fits the offense. You can see it. The only question with Mack is, what's he going to have left? He seems like he has a lot left, and for an old guy, he really hasn't missed many games in his career. So if he can at least stay on the field and prevent the Niners from playing his backup, that's good.
Yeah, he's been solid. He hasn't missed games. I think the only reason he missed last year was a concussion. Those things are things you really can't control. Just depend, it's your head. It's a little different than some other issues that you could be dealing with. So,
but it's not like Richburg, who missed 12 games with a concussion before he signed with the Niners. Mack missed one, so that's a good sign. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So he's a guy that definitely has that longevity. He's the guy that you kind of wish Trent Williams was in terms of the ability to stay on the field. Where that's who the Foreigners are hoping that Trent Williams is going to be moving forward with the way that they've structured his contract, because he needs to be able to play 15, 16 games a year to
right. Because nothing makes a player hungry to get back on that field every week like a $30 million check before the season starts. That's the way to create incentive. That's just how human nature works. I'm sorry, I'm snarky today. I don't know why I am. I was watching Trent, and he was just talking. He's so happy about how much money he got. He was like, I thought it was going to be one or two things. Either I was going to get the money I deserve, or I was going to sign somewhere and be happy for a discount. It's like, dude, $19 million a year is a discount. Like, God, life is tough, man. But you know what? Get what you can, Trent. And he got it.
Yeah. Well, I saw something on Twitter last night where it seemed like he was pretty close to going to the Chiefs.
That's what he said.
Which is really funny, considering that was one of the first names that came out of his mouth a couple of weeks ago when he was talking about Richard Sherman, supposedly.
And you tweeted that, and people were just down your throat, like, that's not what he meant. That's not. He's like, and you're like, would you just listen to him? Would you just listen to what he's saying? And he was telling you who the other suitors were. And he told I don't know if I'd said at the beginning, but he told the writers during the press conference just before we went on how he signed. He said that basically things had stalled out between the Niners and Parag. Those were his words, stalled out, Niners and Parag. He'd gotten a better offer from the Chiefs, and he had promised that he would call Kyle before making any decisions. So he's going to dinner somewhere like Morton's or something, and he calls Kyle and says, look, if you won't up your offer, I'm about to make my decision. Let me know what you're going to do. Kyle calls him. An hour later, the agent calls him and said, done. So I guess Kyle called Parag and said, excuse me, this is my team. You better make this happen. So when Jack and I question the structure of the contract, we do so because it's a very non-Parag contract, right? It's like, since when does Parag lock in players with no ability to get out for years? Oh, no, that's what Kyle does. So it could work out, but it's a very Kyle Shanahan contract.
Yeah, it's a rough contract because they're going to be paying him $26 million in year 3. So regardless of what you say, that's what it looks like. And in year 3, he's going to be $35 million. Sure, they can lower the cap hit in 20 at that point, but he's going to be 35. So you're going to be kicking that can down the road again and building up, worse dead cap down the road if you do that. So that's the concern that I have with the deal. I'm glad that Trent Williams is a 49er. I think he's a terrific player. That cash in 3 years is going to be, just makes me a little, that's why I'm not high on that contract.
And also, if something were to happen this year and he were to get injured and he were to start missing lots of games like Trent Brown did for the Raiders or like George Kittle did last year, or D Ford's a better example. There's nothing the Niners can do about it. He's on the team basically for 3 years, and they've locked in for about $60 million. So, I'm not counting on him to get hurt. He hasn't missed a ton of time like that, but he's my age. And I tell you, Jack, I'm starting to feel old, man. I'm starting to feel old. I wake up at 3 a.m, my back hurts. I don't know why. It hurts. So, Trent, I'm only 185 pounds-ish, maybe 90. You're bigger than that. I don't know how I know you're feeling a little old, so you better give it your 100%. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, no, they need the guy to be able. Need the guy to be able to stay healthy. He hasn't played a full season since 2013, and that's. I understand people don't like to hear it, but that's just really the fact is that he hasn't played a full season. 2013 was the last time he played a full season, and it's scary.
Yeah, and the other thing is when I saw Mack in his press conference, I was thinking, man, that guy looks old. I'm used to the players all being 10 years younger than me, and looking at him was like, wow, you really are older than me. You look like Joe Staley. Is Joe Staley about that age, or is he a little older?
I think they're about the same. Yeah, I think they're both about 36, 30 years old.
Look like Joe Staley. Anyway, it's good to have someone back on the team who's older than me because I'm getting tired of covering these kids, man. They're too young.
Well, the 49ers, when you think about it, I mean, they've gotten old, right? Over the last year and a half, 2 years, they've really put a lot of age into the team trying to get veterans that are older.
Including today, Zach Kerr, yesterday, Tavon Will. Every player they sign is a 1-year deal, 30-year-old guy. It's like, man, you guys really think you're going to be making moves in the playoffs this year? Well, God love you. I hope Jimmy Garoppolo stays healthy, or you draft a quarterback that I don't see coming. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
We'll see how it goes. Jack, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for doing this for us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
All right. See you guys.